Hey Woodturners, I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. Welcome to my shop. I gotta start off by saying it's Christmas Eve 2015. You just getting this one? Hey, alright. But I gotta say Merry Christmas to all my wood turning buddies out there. Guys, gals, kids, everybody. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas. I know that's politically incorrect, but I'm old school and I think it's the right way to go. So, if nothing else, holler out Merry Christmas right now. Somebody's bound to hear you and you'll make their day. We got a few tips to share with you. If you want to know what they are, all you got to do, you know the deal, right? Watch. As I mentioned, it's Christmas Eve, and I got to playing with a few things this morning and decided to polish up a couple of pieces. And then I got to thinking about the phone calls and emails I get on a fairly regular basis, and I welcome them. Just give me a call and we can talk. Okay, guy called the other day. He said, I got a plate on a lathe and I want to finish this off. What do I do? I said, okay, first you're going to sand. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. If you're sanding with hardware store sandpaper, you're losing money and effort. So step up to somebody who makes sanding paper for the wood turning industry. It normally comes out in these discs. See these discs? They fit on something like this little soft pad, scrunchy pad, so you don't have to hold them in your fingers. So you pop one off. You pop on another. You see what I'm talking about? Looks like you need to wash dishes with it. Don't do that, okay? Made for lathe. You go to the lathe and you start down here on the bottom. Not up here on the top. See how it's pushing to you? You can control it better when it's pulling away from you. And you're just going to sand. So that's a piece of 120 grit paper I have on there. And I'm just going to knock the loops off. Now, how far am I going to take it? Well, this piece has been sitting on here for a little bit over a year. Remember I had that 1 year vacation? I'm going to knock it down to where it's smooth all the way across, and I have all these ridges that came out. The ridges were caused by tears. Tears were caused by me. When I did the last cuts on this, I probably used a tool that wasn't as sharp as it needed to be. And it didn't cut the way it needed to cut. Now, here's another one for you while we're talking. You don't turn wood by chopping the hell out of it. I mean, I haven't tried this, but I'm pretty sure I can get that axe out of the corner, put a pretty good corner on it, edge on it, and go ahead and knock this out. But I don't want to do that. I want to cut it to where it's just taking little wispies. That's a technical term now. Wispies of sandpaper, of cutting off. Why? Because those are finely cut and they're finely massaged, and I don't have to apply a lot of pressure to this plate to get them to come to shape up. The pressure, whether it be the densest wood or the softest wood that you have around your house. And oh yeah, here's another one. Don't ever believe that hardwood, softwood story when it comes to wood that you can turn. Because some hardwoods are extremely soft and some softwoods are extremely hard. It all depends on what kind of leaves or needles they have on a tree. You see, if we let those foresters guide us, they're not interested in the wood turning thing. No offense, but they're just not, okay? So you find one that's got the nice grain that you want to work with, and you make your cuts. And remember, if you just hog the wood out, look at it this way. If you take a 2x4 and you whack it across the stays on your lathe, it'll crack. But that's not as good a cut as if you took your skill saw and cut that off, because you cut it instead of broke it. Well, if you take the big cutters, and I'm talking big cutters and everything, everybody wants a big cutter. If you take the big cutters and you hog the wood away, you've probably damaged what's left. And then when you start cleaning it up, there's a whole lot of high spots, low spots, high spots, low spots, and they look bad. And you're trying to figure out, what did I do? I sanded. You cut too rough, and you didn't get past that for the sanding. So, step one, get a good clean cut. Step 2, sand. Now after you've sanded with the 120 or 180, then take a hard look at it. If you still got the highs and lows, get your scraper or your gouge or whatever, and make some light passes to clean up the surface a little bit. Then go back to sand it a little bit. And remember, you're moving micros, just micros. That's all it takes. It takes removing them and getting them flat to make it look great, or make it look, nice work, wish you sanded it. You know, I lost some friends that way. Look at their work and say, wow, this is going to look really good when you say, oh, you did sand it, huh? Oh, okay. But that's how you get there. And sanding is always close to the last step. But you have to be ready to sand when you get there. Tell you what you do. Here's an idea. Go out in the shop, chuck up a piece of wood, and make a couple of passes on it. And then take your gouge and just gouge across it. And you see what the damage is. And then set your gouge up on an angle and make some light drawback cuts. And see what happens. You should, if your gouge is sharp, you should remove little wispies. Remember I told you about that technical term? Little wispies should come off. That is cleaning up that cut. So now it should be perfect to sand. I've had pieces where I can't say you can start sanding at 400. Had guys say, man, it looks like you started at 400. You really can't. Oh, you can get away with it, but you can rob banks too. But one day you're going to get caught. Let's just say if you give a great cut, and then you sand from 80 or 100 all the way up to 300 or 400, you're going to have an awesome looking finish. It's going to have some reflectance to it, some chatoyance. Chatoyance is another technical thing. It means the grain looks like it moves. When you move it in front of you, it looks like the depth changes. That's all in high quality finishing. It can happen in low quality wood with a high quality finish. High quality finish now. I don't mean you take that can of stuff I got down the street up you don't take that can and put it on and say, well, I put a high quality finish on it. Did you finish the wood before you put the finish on? Did you sand it adequately, get it clean, get all the light spots and low spots in and out of it, and you look at some pieces you've got that you've done in the past and say, wow, I got that dull spot here and there, but that's in the wood. Nah, it's really not in the wood, it's in the wood treatment. If you abuse the wood, that's how it looks. It's like, find the biggest guy in your neighborhood and punch him one time, and you'll see a bruise. He's going to hit you back and bruise you a whole lot more. That's the result of the bruise. Did that make sense? Don't go hit the guy if you didn't, okay? Now, we got it down to where we're sanded. Another message came in and said, I want to finish it. I learned in high school in tech class that you can finish it with steel wool. You see that stuff? It comes in all kinds of sizes. Single, double, triple, quadruple lot, all that stuff. And it's important that you pay attention to those numbers. Why? Because you want to make sure you don't bring any of them to your lathe. No. Why? This is woven steel wool. It's not what got picked up on the floor. This was made at the plant specifically for cutting action. Wasn't made to go on this lathe. Now, I thought about getting up here and showing you what would happen if I stuck it in there and let it go. Here's the problem. I couldn't come up with a holder that would hold it to be fair. But I'm going to tell you right now, this could suck a finger off, give you burns and tears in your hand, get up in your eyes and your face, screw up your motor, ruin your work. Don't bring it to the lathe. Steel wool, no. Another no, this is a real good one, because you get this all the time. Guy said, I put that finish on the other day, and when I got done, my rag was all gooped up. You what? What'd you say it was? A rag? My dad was the master of the pocket handkerchief. Really. His looked like hell all the time because they were the general purpose wiping cloth everywhere. And I'm talking about the guy that is, his picture is right next to Renaissance Man in a dictionary. No rags come to the lathe. Why? Same reason as that steel wool. It will get caught up, get pulled, shredded, pulled in there. It'll pull a finger off. What? Yes. A face cloth, a towel, the sleeves off your old t-shirts, your socks. I don't want to get into all the other things that you could bring out to your shop to plug in, but you don't want to sand with. You don't want to use it. Here it is. This is my $1 million idea. Let me reach up here and get to it. I got a whole roll of them. Yeah, it's my $1 million idea for finishing. It's a paper towel. I get them at Sam's, of all places. Yeah, this is that half size or whatever, but it's a paper towel. This will do everything that rag will do, except pull your fingers off, except burn your piece, except shred. It'll do everything else that you want to get out of a rag. So when you're doing that finishing, this paper towel is one of the most important things you'll have. I also use a whole lot of toilet paper. Here it is right above me. Toilet paper is what I put CA glue on with when I do a finish. Why? Let's talk about cheap. It's like 1/8 of a cent of a cent of a cent for a sheet. I could take this, make a little pad out of it, put 1 drop of CA and make a pass across a finished piece. If you haven't seen that CA finish done, watch the video twice. The first time you're going to come up with some shortcuts. The second time you realize why I did every single step and why there are no shortcuts. But toilet paper works really good. I can get this at Sam's or at the dollar store. Got rolls up there that I bought at the dollar store years ago. Guess it's out of date. Probably wouldn't want to use it for the other part. No. Okay, now we talk about that. Oh, another thing. The OB Shine Juice. A good buddy of mine, OB Lacoste out of Lafayette, Louisiana. He's up in heaven doing some lathe work right now. And I know he did that because he was a good man, and that's where good men go. But OB showed us how to make this juice. OB Shine Juice. It's easy. It is 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. That's what you take. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Guy called me today. I got 3/5 of this and 2/5 of that and all that. No, I want singles. This is number one. Boiled linseed oil. Don't boil it yourself. Buy the product called boiled linseed oil. It's in the paint department. Next is clear shellac. Now, if it says white tinted, don't get it. It's going to come out white. It's got color paint and all that stuff to help you hide cracks in the walls. You don't want that. You want shellac. Clear or white shellac. I think it's a 4-pound cut. But if you get the can from Zinsser, it's all pre-done. And the third one is denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol, alright, here's what it does. The shellac is what you want. That's what you're trying to get on a piece. To get the shellac there, you need the alcohol to thin down the shellac. But when you start moving around, you need the linseed oil to give it some lubricant and let it move. That's why those 3 things are in there. Now, if you put it in a little squeeze bottle like this, or you steal the one from your wife's kitchen, well, it's your kitchen, but your wife claims it, then if it'll lose a little bit of the alcohol, it'll look like it's shrinking down. Well, when you get done using it, all you got to do is put a rubber band or a piece of tape right where it is in the bottle. Next time you pick it up, if it's down 1/4 inch or so, put some more linseed oil, some more alcohol in it. That's it, alcohol. Nothing else went away, just the alcohol. And it'll help you move it a little bit better. If it's not moving at all, then you ran out of alcohol and it's just soliding. Soliding? It's just starting to cure on its own. It's just no good. Alright, so you got that. Third. Now, talk about that. Oh, a guy said, when I do the OB Shine Juice, I'm not getting enough shine. Well, you can build the coats up over a day or two or three and keep rubbing coats in. Then let it cure a couple of days. Then buff it off. And you'll see the shine come back. It ain't staying. It's only there for a little while. But if you want it there for a long time, put something like Renaissance wax on it. Renaissance is a microcrystalline wax polish. I don't even have any idea who made it. It comes out of England. But this is really good stuff. Renaissance. Do this. Should have cleaned some of this up. You see what I'm talking about? Because down here in Louisiana we talk funny. Renaissance. This is a 2 or 7 ounce container. And I know I've had this in the shop since 2003. That's 12 years. Wow. You know why? Because I only need a little bit on a paper towel to smear it on the piece, and then I buff it. And I got one wheel that's done for buffing on the buffer. So, I mean, I'm just going to polish, which is great. That's how you got to get the finish on it. And, oh yeah, if you look for sand supplies, throw this out here because this is my buddy. You see that Vincent's Wood Wonders and that 877 phone number right there? Well, that is the phone number for Vince Welsh. And Vince does wonderful work with sandpaper supplies. He's got them. He's a wood turner. He knows how to do this. He's also got a whole series of YouTube videos out there all about it. But go to Vince for that. So, because he's got it. He's got a regular job, and he's also got this. So, hey, I applaud a man that works for a living. Just as long as I don't have to do it. Alrighty. So, we talked a little about finish. Remember, no paper towels. No rags. No steel wool. Keep your fingers out of the fight. Scrape your work to get the really great finish on it. And when it's all said and done, put a little wax on it and buff it up. Really does make a difference. So, I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and you join me today as I went to the shop to do a little making shavings. Hope to see you back again real soon. And oh, before you wander off, I got to thank a couple other folks. Ruth Niles with SS Niles Bottle Stoppers. Great lady, has great equipment. I found out later on, a guy I helped put in business years ago, he makes some of the equipment that and supplies that she sells. So, Ruth Niles. And there's JT Tools. He's got those hollowers and a bunch of other tools. I've got a bunch of his stuff. JT Tools. Oh man, I told you about Vince just now. But there's a guy with the tool shop up in the northwest up there, and he has got some awesome stuff. And if I think about it, I'm going to put his name and contact number right here. Great people to help you out when you need help out. And I'll tell you how that worked out. September 2014, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. That's the zipper on my head is for. They went in and removed the brain tumor, but something went wrong. Number one, it was killing me, but the drugs I was taking needed to wear off. And the doctor, I felt obliged to, and I still am, said, I have to take it now. He went in and get it. And it didn't work out real well. He was a great guy. He went in there twice. It put me in a coma. And it was a year before I got all my functionality back. Now, I walk okay, just not steady. I've got some moments to where I can't remember names, like the guy I want to tell you about the tools. But all that, you got to look at it this way. My wife and my adult daughters and my wife's sister and her adult daughter, they all came to my rescue. I had 5 women ready to fight off a whole hospital. The Ochsner Hospital, that's big. They were ready to fight them off because they said, I got to get better. I think what she was saying is I wasn't worth anything dead. But they don't talk like that anymore. I think they've realized it hurt my feelings. But they got me through it. And a year ago today, I stood for the first time in 4 months and took 21 steps. And they weren't much of a steps. I had 3 people helping me. There's a video on YouTube about it right now. Not YouTube, pardon me. It is on Facebook. Go to me on Facebook and look me up. Look up Eddie Castellan. And go to Facebook and you'll see my videos. If you want to join, put a message and I'll let you join. I don't care. It's okay with me. We all share stories. But all those people helped me, including those sponsors I told you about earlier, because my wife was still trying to keep my business going and she needed help. And she got it. And I got to thank them all for helping her out. And also, I got to say thanks to you, because you stuck with us. We've had some problems. We run out of inventory. It takes another week or 2 to get them in. We're trying to fix that. But just as soon as we think we got it fixed, you see a video that you like and you call and say, I want to buy this. And you're not alone. You're in with about 300 other people that are doing it at the same time. So, but we catch up, and we really appreciate it. Now, if you need anything dealing with carbide cutters, pardon me, the templates and things like that, all you have to do is go to my website, www.eddiecastellan.com, right here, and look it up. It's there. Okay? And again, thanks. I hope you and yours have a very Merry Christmas. How am I doing that right now? Merry Christmas! You see, I don't care who's in the room with you, they're going to laugh. That's what you got to do in life. Sometimes you've got to do things that make people laugh. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. You be good, and I'll see you again soon.